Hey guys, Mickey Kilby here, and welcome to another episode of The Mickey Lynn Show. I'm really excited that you guys are here. I am on a mission to help moms conquer the chaos in their lives, defeat that feeling of overwhelm, and raise confident kids. And today I want to talk to you guys about resilience and building confidence through some of life's challenges and how do we walk our kids through that. So, one of the best gifts that we can give our kids is the ability to bounce back from challenges, right? Learning from failures and just keep moving forward. And that helps them to build the confidence. We don't want them to just be able to just survive. We want them to be able to thrive as adults, to be able to have that confidence to walk in who they are, walk in that security of I am loved and I can do hard things. That's what I want for my kids, and that's what I hope to be able to teach them. So I've got a question for you guys. What's one thing that you've done that has helped your kids work through a challenge recently? Maybe it's something like a small homework assignment or something like that, but maybe it's a bigger life challenge, whatever that might be. What is that for you guys? I want you guys to share that with me. Tell me how you've helped your kids walk through something that's been a little bit difficult lately. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys again about resilience, and that's a topic it's really kind of close to my heart. We want to protect our kids. We want them to feel safe. We don't want them to have to go through hardships. We don't want them to have to go through the things that we went through. We want to protect them, but we need to be able to give them tools to be able to handle difficult things in a safe environment. I love saying, let your kids do hard things. Let them do difficult things in a safe way. Let them climb the monkey bars if they're little, and you stand back and you let them do that. They've got to be able to work through those challenges. It is a critical part of raising strong, independent kiddos. It's something that we're just going to have to do and let them go through it and step back and watch them figure some of that stuff out for their own, for themselves. So I'm going to share some strategies with you. Some of the things that have worked for me and for other moms, and being able to help build that resilience so you can prepare your kids to be more confident. Okay, number one, we want to encourage a growth mindset in our kiddos. So we want to foster that within them, and that's going to help improve their ability to have persistence, their ability to learn from their mistakes. When they face a challenge, instead of saying, when your kids are like facing a challenge, instead of saying, you know what, gosh, you're so smart, you could say something like, hey, I love how hard you're working at this. This shifts their focus from being naturally good or naturally bad at something to the idea that their abilities can grow and that they can get better. So it's more about teaching them that the effort that they're putting into things and not just the talent that they have, that's what's going to lead them to be successful and to have confidence. So, okay, so number two, let them experience failure. That is so hard. That's really hard for me as a mom. I don't want my kiddos to fail at things. Not necessarily I don't want them to fail. I don't want them to feel like they're a failure. So but it's part of it. It's just a natural part of life. And I really feel like it's one of the best teachers that your kids can, learn from. We don't want to be afraid of them failing at things. We want them to be learning through that. We want them to understand that failure isn't the end of it, but it's just part of the process. It's part of the journey. We can ask them, what did you learn from this? I love asking my kids, especially my older, my teenagers and young adults, what did you learn from this? Was there something that you might have done differently? And oftentimes they'll come back and they'll go, yeah, you know what, Mom, that advice you gave me that I hated to hear, that was really good advice. And I can see why you've said that to me. And moving forward, this is how I plan to handle things. So we want to teach them that they can problem solve for themselves. And that leads me to tip number three. We want to teach them to be able to have problem solving skills. We want them to, instead of us rushing into everything to fix it for them, we want to kind of be able to guide them through that problem solving process. And we want to ask them questions like, what do you think we should do about this? How do you think we can make this better? And I've learned that when we say it as we, it makes them feel like they're like you're included in that and you're willing to help them solve it, but they come up with the solution for themselves rather than saying, "Well, what are you going to do about this? What do you want to do? How are you going to make it better?" I feel like it puts too much pressure on them for them to have all of that weight on their shoulders. But if we can say, "Hey, what are we going to do about this? Let's come together and work this out," and then you come up with a solution, and then they're excited because it was their idea, and they don't feel so frustrated with things. Okay, so tip number 4. You guys, you want to model resilience in yourself. Your kids are constantly watching you. So when you face a challenge, you want to be open to that. And you want them to see how you're handling that. What does that look like? How are you managing your stress? How are you bouncing back from setbacks? And what kind of solutions are you coming up with? For an example, maybe you have like a difficult situation at work, and it's okay to share with your kids like how you're navigating that with patience and persistence and grace and encouragement. And you want to show them that it's okay to be frustrated, but that you have to keep moving forward and not just giving up. And that you have to have patience and grace as you're moving forward. All right, tip number 5. You want to celebrate effort, not just success. So, one of the most powerful ways that we can build resilience in our kids is by celebrating our kids' efforts rather than the outcome. So maybe they did a good school project, or they learned a new skill, and we want to praise them. Or maybe they won the soccer game, or tried really hard at their soccer game. We want to praise them for the hard work that they put in. Maybe if they didn't win, maybe if they didn't win that game, or they didn't achieve that goal right away. We want to praise them we want to focus on the effort, and that way our kids are going to learn that success is not about perfection, but it's about more of like persistence and growth. And this is going to help them to keep going even when things get tough. Because it always does. Life can be hard sometimes. And so we want to be able to teach them persistence and growth. So, you guys, if you got any value out of this episode, I'm excited that you're here. Thank you so much. If you got any value out of this, go ahead and find us on Instagram. I'm going to put the link below in the show notes. Subscribe to this podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's stay connected. Let's build a community of moms. Let's share ideas, share your stories. What are some ways that you were able to encourage your kids this week? What are some things that work for you? Let's share all of that and build each other up. Until next time, I'll see you again.